What is the most efficient way of travel? The answer will be some method containing with minimum barriers and objects. Traveling in space or in the sky is the shortest and fastest possible method of travel. That is where the idea of flying machine integrates. Religious myths, stories of past, ancient philosophies, and several incidents of history carry a certain mysterious facts and evidence for existence of flying technologies moving to about 2600 years back. Can this be possibly true? Could there have been flying technologies and flying machines back in 500 BC or even later? When referring to these flying machines, they took a common place in ancient Indian texts, in Egyptian drawings, and even certain records of Columbus. It is interesting to note the presence of flying machines-like objects, even some ancient religious drawings that were painted in Yugoslavia 1350, and also the painting titled Madonna with Saint Giovannino, painted in 15th century. In this painting, a man and his dog can clearly be seen looking up at a flying object. Could this be representative of extraterrestrial?
Ancient Egyptians were an extremely advanced civilization, possessing all sorts of technology that were not seen until the modern day. There are very strange hieroglyphics in the temple of Osiris at Abydos. According to UFO enthusiasts, these glyphs depict highly developed aircrafts, specifically a helicopter, a submarine, some type of flying saucer, and a jet plane. This simple carving found in Egypt is known as the Saqqara bird. What is surprising about this Saqqara bird is its aerodynamic precision. The shape of the wing, the fuselage seem to have similarities to modern-day aircraft engineering. Could the ancient Egyptians really have possessed the technology of flight? An ultimate flying test was conducted by aerodynamic expert Simon Sanderson. He used latest scientific techniques to unravel whether the ancient Egyptians developed a model for a full-size flying machine. Simon constructed a model of the Saqqara bird which was 5 times bigger than the original. At one of the world's leading aeronautic research institutes, he subjected the model to a series of scientific tests. Over 1,000 years after the ancient Egyptians carved this mysterious bird, the modern technology has proven beyond doubt that it could have flown.
When Alexander the Great invaded India over 2000 years ago, his scribes chronicled an attack by flying fire shields that panicked the horses. These vehicles did not deploy any weapons against the invading army, which marched on to conquer the country. It has been speculated in many books that secret brotherhoods have preserved and maintained VIMANAs for many thousands of years. They are alleged to keep them hidden in caverns and underground bases. The core of VIMANA legendary philosophy is heard from Vedic literature of India. According to the mythology, Ravana, a king of Sri Lanka, used Pushpaka Vimana to kidnap the beautiful wife of Prince Rama who lived in India. The Ellora, with its uninterrupted sequence of monuments dating from 600 to 1000 AD, has 34 monasteries and temples, extending over more than 2 kilometers, dug in the wall of a high basalt cliff not far from Maharashtra province, India. Ellora caves in India provide evidence for existence of the Vimana. It consists of 1200-year-old carving which shows a scene from the Hindu epic Ramayana. This surprisingly is a device that looks similar to a modern-day jetpack. There is even a circular object with shining blades similar to a modern-day propeller. In this carving, Ravana is operating a circular instrument and also wears a helmet and an instrument over the ear in the same way a modern-day pilot does to communicate with nearby airports. In the Hindu epic, it is said that 6 working airports in Sri Lanka were used by Ravana. It mentions that he used several flying devices with different sizes and power. In ancient India, many buildings has taken the shapes of Vimana. The Indian Emperor Ashoka started the secret society of the Nine Unknown Men, a group of great Indian scientists who were supposed to catalogue the many sciences. Emperor Ashoka always kept their work secret. Later, the Nine Unknown Men wrote a total of 9 books, presumably one each. Among these books were the book called The Secret Gravitation, which is based on gravity control.
Let's look at the technology behind these Vimanas. In past, mainly there were 4 types of Vimana flying machines. Shakuna Vimana. The shape of this is like a bird. When it travels, it waves its wings. Sundara Vimana. It had circular flat shape. Rukma Vimana. It had 2 floors named as Rukbenaya and Rukmuduna. Tripura Vimana. It had 3 floors and machine can travel on floor, through sea and fly on the sky. Vimanas were made by propulsion-based system with combination of gyroscopes, electricity and mercury. Vimanaka Shastra book says Vimanas were powered by putting several gyroscopes in sealed liquid mercury vortex. Why they use mercury? Mercury is a metal, liquid and electric conductor. So mercury has these unusual properties together. National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA) was done experiment by putting closed gyroscopic device into sealed liquid mercury vortex and then electrify it. After that, they found the system has levitation effect and anti-gravitation effects. Also, they can show bright light spinning around the system too. According to the Sanskrit books, Vimanas are controlled by mentally. This is the technology that modern military are beginning to develop. Today, scientists are trying to develop mind-controlling system by developing a technological electromagnetic system that interferes with coherent thoughts and organized thoughts. There is no secret that most people are trying to get this anti-gravity technology by the Sanskrit books. It is interesting to note that the Nazis developed the first practical pulse jet engines for their V-8 rocket pulse bombs. Hitler and Nazi staffs were exceptionally interested in ancient India and Tibet. They sent expeditions to both these places yearly, starting in 30s, in order to gather esoteric evidences that they did so. And perhaps it was from these people that Nazi gained some of their scientific information. In 1998, United States Air Force built a secret triangular-shaped aircraft, which was known as DR-3B. They used this mercury vortex engine in this DR-3B as well. By using this engine, they were able to reduce the flight weight by 90%. For those who observed, it was a massive-sized object which glides completely in silence, and they also felt vibration sensation in their chest. When moving back to the history, many questions come to our mind. Why would these so-called primitive people leave so much accurate evidence with regard to flying technology? It is more likely that these remarkable details are from experience rather than from imagination. So we can say that ancient Vimana technology is still existing among us, but people who know this technology are hiding it from the rest of the world. What could it be the reason? If you imagine an object independent from gravity in the above atmosphere, maximum efficiency of fuel or energy could be used in acceleration for such a device. So it creates an object which is faster than any other flight in the world. So, are we now reinventing these historical devices? The answer will be yours.